Welcome to YinRadioTV. I'm Rory Kelly Connor, and I'm the Love Queen. I'm your host for the next hour. Tonight's show is the second in a series of love monologues, Lessons in Love. These shows are based in the concept that only love is real. Tonight we are going to explore the topic of personal love relationships within that framework. When we embrace the premise that only love is real, that all else, all that's not love, disguised as love, is an illusion created by man, we open up a gateway to amazing self-love, intimate and loving relationships, and holy communion with God, all at the same time within each relationship. It is here within the true essence of love that we create relationships that are what I call the true sexy, where human meets divine. We are also going to touch upon what is love and what isn't in the context of relationships. The world is now besieged by agenda-fied manipulation as information, as well as self-help dogma and detached spirituality mantras that have confused people into being more alone than ever and misunderstanding what real love is and the truth about how love relates and behaves. I'm here to help you tonight to begin to unspin the spin that has so many lost, alone, and confused. It's time to relearn the true way of love. Now let's set an intention for our time together. Let's focus on opening our hearts. Yes, our hearts, during this time together tonight. Be open to hearing this lesson with your heart as well as those gorgeous ears. Now get comfortable wherever you are as well, so that you can be present with your heart and bring your peaceful mind with it. Ground yourself in your body so you feel present, because we are establishing a frequency of love and intimacy in our time here together. I ask you to close your eyes for a moment and focus on your breath, for it is our breath through which we connect to all within and without, as above and so below, and our breath, of course, is what gives us life. Breathe in deeply, allowing yourself to receive all the love I have prepared for you here tonight. And breathe out all the stress of the day and the misbeliefs that are blocking your receptivity. Now take another breath in, suspending all disbelief and letting go of all that isn't love within your mind right now, and breathe out. Very good. Now one more time, because I like threes. Take in a deep breath, consciously calling in all the love you desire in your life, into your being, into awareness, igniting the way of love within you. And then let it out. Breathe it out like fire into the space around you, creating a sexy cocoon of love that caresses you as we move forward into love. Feel that? Yep. Now that's love. I want to start by making clear that love is the universal language that connects all of us to what is true and good in this world. It resides in us, as us, no matter who or what we are or what we have or haven't done. It is the truth, and it is the way and the light. Only love is real. All else fades away into dust or density without breath. Yet love is all that lasts. It lasts forever. Let's talk about relationships, though. What is a relationship? The word defined means a connection, association, or involvement, an emotional or other connection between people, which can also be sexual in nature, such as an affair. Tonight, while the concepts we will discuss here have broader applications for business or world relationships, we will be focusing on personal relationships between two people, especially love relationships, romantic or other kinds of love. Relationships start with you, with us, the person, an individual. Know that you are worthy of love, to know love, to be love, and to be loved. You are love. Therefore, you are beloved, and only love is real. You are a sexy child of God, capable of creating sexy, loving relationships. Sexy, human, divine, amazing relationships. Feel that. I want you to feel that. Not think it, but feel it. You're smiling, aren't you? If you aren't smiling, you're resisting. And you know what they say, what you resist persists. So stop. Surrender to it. Feel that sexy love that you are. Feels pretty damn good, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. So you are love, and you are worthy, and that is the truth. Now, how do we move into relationship with love? Yes, relationship with love. How do we do it right? How do we move into that right? Because only love is real. So we want to get it right, and we want to get it real. We want to truly manifest and truly experience true love, right? I mean, why would we want to manifest and experience false love? Excuse my French, but that basically becomes nothing but a mind fuck, a heart fuck, and isn't remotely sexy as I define it. Sexy as the essence of God through you and divine. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Think of all of your close relationships, or just pick one with someone that you know that you love. What keeps you from being love with that person? Not feeling love, but being love, actively and passionately. Yes, I know that's a loaded question. But if you have a notebook, take a moment to write down all the reasons or the things that keep you from being love with this person. Or just list a few to yourself in your mind's eye. Now, what keeps you from expressing love in that relationship as well? So take some time to think about that or to write it down. What keeps you from expressing love in that relationship with that person? Go ahead and list a few, name a few to yourself. Now, you've listed a few things of what keeps you from being love and expressing love. That's a great job. You've made your list. Now tell me, how many of your reasons are projected onto the other person? How much is blamed on that other person? Let's remember, this is a person that you love, or at least you believe you love. While those reasons may appear to be true, and you have decided, yes, you've chosen to see them as true, if only love is real, are they true if they are impeding love? I'm going to repeat that back. This is a person you love or believe you love. While those reasons may appear to be true and you have decided to see them as true, if only love is real, are they true if they are impeding love? Again, let's remember, these are your reasons, or reasons that you have been taught to withhold being and expressing love. So let's look at your list again. Did you mention yourself? Because that's what love would do. It holds you accountable to being and expressing the love that you feel. That is your responsibility as your part in the relationship. Now remember, it's someone you love. Withholding that love is contrary to yourself. Why? Because you are love, and only love is real. So again, withholding love is contrary to the self, because you are love, and only love is real. Let's be clear that how you act in love and express love within a relationship with another person is specific to you and that person. You know, to the specific relationship, the kind of relationship you have. As well as usually it's also reflected as in a way that shows us what your relationship is to God and the divine. But it is also specific to your relationship with yourself. Is your relationship to yourself loving? Are you loving yourself? Where are you not loving yourself? This is something that I invite you to spend some time thinking about over the next few days after listening, and making a list of those areas where you're not loving yourself, and also a list of where you are. Now, if your love and only love is real, then how are you interacting with yourself as yourself sets the groundwork for how you are showing up, how you are being and expressing love in a relationship, any relationship. This includes your thoughts, your behaviors, and your choices. I could talk all day about mastering the relationship with self, moving into love in all ways with self as self, moving away from fear as an usher of what we allow to be possible as love. That is a lesson for another time. What I will tell you now is to embrace that you are love and tell yourself in every choice and every interaction, especially the challenging ones, the challenging relationships, that only love is real. And watch how your choices change. Watch how your actions change, your words change, and your energy changes. And over time, you'll notice that you are becoming love. You are love. I want to share a little story about relationships. There was a man who started a relationship with a woman that he met online, and they had had many conversations over time, some of which were playful and intimate. The woman was sometimes confused over the man's intentions. When asked, he indicated he was exploring the possibility of a relationship. So they proceeded to speak and explore the possibility of meeting. Now, the woman and the man had both been wounded by previous relationships and other childhood issues. They had yet to fully heal scars that were deep and painful. Yet they were both driven towards finding love. Because, as I've noted, we are love, and love desires to find a home. The woman, being an emotional, intuitive creature, as most women are, was confounded by the man's inability to express his feelings to her or make the relationship real. She watched as he freely lavished beautiful, flirtatious compliments on other women online. She had conversations with him where he would yell at her and denigrate her for her beliefs, and yet still she stayed with it and looked at every single thing within herself that was not love to make sure that what was showing up was not a reflection of who she was being. And this took some time. Now, the funny thing is that there was real love there, real love, which kept them coming back together over many years to fall back into that love upon occasion. Yet with them, they also carried the fear of being hurt with words, the fear of what was not love in the relationship. And that took a toll on all of the interactions that they had. And one day during a conversation after a long break in communication, the woman asked the man if he had thought about her during the most recent break, which was many months. The man said yes, he had. He said when he thought about her, what he fantasized about, and this may surprise you, what he fantasized about over and over was this woman being nice to him. Now, the funny thing is that she fantasized about exactly the same thing. Yet they had reaped what they had sowed, which wasn't love, because of what they had learned and where they were and the woundedness. And because they weren't being love or expressing love, the many times they came together, they couldn't get together in the energy of love. Now, over time, though, they stuck with it. They began to listen to one another, to hear what the other was saying and feeling. They moved into love first as themselves so they could show up as love with the other. They made love a priority. Being love became a priority. They allowed the other person to feel what they felt, and they showed up as love and acceptance of the other as they were. They became softer and sweeter, making that fantasy real. Connecting in relationships through love, as love, where there was love. They were able to end the battles that they had had. They were able to move into forgiveness and move into the present and put down the weapons and stand together in love. And that changed everything. How many relationships have you had that sound like that? Choosing love changes everything, and only love is real. That's what I call the power of the us relationship, where you truly come together and you become one team in love. You come together. You make that choice. And that's where God is able to move into the relationship. And we experience what I call holy communication. And then when we bring our actions into it, we join our bodies, as well as our minds and our hearts and our spirit within the essence of our souls, so that we create a holy communion, a union in harmony, a union in love versus distance and dissonance. Only love is real, and we are love. Now, I want to tell you another story. I want to tell you a story of 3 marriages. And these are a classic relationship, the marriage. 3 different marriages, 3 different couples, and what they went through. Now, the first marriage, there were a man and woman together, and they had their own ideas about what they thought marriage should be. They came to that idea of what love should be, instead of creating independently what love could be together and agreeing on what that could be. They came to this union with select ideas. And the man had ideas on what the woman should be, that she should be there to serve him, and she should be a support person, and she should basically take care of the family and handle the home while he went off to do his work. And that was his idea of love. He was the master of his domain. Now, the woman decided at a certain point that she wanted to go back to school and finish her degree, and that she wanted to have the expression of self through a career. And so she went back and finished her degree so that she could go and do that, the specialized type of work. This made the man very unhappy. It conflicted with the idea of what he wanted this relationship to be. And communication broke down. Battles started to happen. Anger started to happen. He loved the woman very much, and she loved him. But she needed to come fully to this relationship as herself. She needed to have her feelings heard. She wanted to express herself through this work that was very important to her, that was healing. And yet he could not hear her. He could not communicate. He could not, even though love was there, he could not show up as love in this relationship. He had another idea of what love should look like. That wasn't love. Now, eventually things broke down. The family broke down, and they ended up in a divorce. And it was a very ugly, nasty divorce. We hear about these all the time, but it was very, very nasty. It became very destructive. But this man did love this woman, and he felt the pain of losing this woman. But he had no way to express that love in a healthy way other than to try to control everything in the relationship, even after the divorce, to the point of literally destroying every single thing in this woman's life. And then there were other effects on the family as well. He could not move into love because his pain was so great. And it was stifling. Now, that's one example of a relationship that's broken down. And I'm going to ask you this question each time as I describe these three things. While love was present, it didn't show up as love. It showed up as something else. It showed up as fear of losing this person. There was so much love there that it overwhelmed and stifled and overexpressed to the point where it destroyed and it smothered the love that could have had a healthy place to grow. So I'm going to ask you, did that man love enough? Did he love too much? Did he love too little? I'll tell you another story, and we'll get back to that point. There was another couple that were married, and they were going through the process of trying to have a child. They very much wanted to have their own child. And the woman, they went for about 1.5 years, and the woman tried to get pregnant. Together they tried to get pregnant, and it wasn't working. Eventually, they ended up going to a specialist, a world-renowned specialist, to go and receive, infertility treatments. And then the process of that whole thing started. And this went on, trying to have a child for over 1.5 years to almost 2 years, constantly trying to have a child, many, many different kinds of treatments, procedures to try to correct things that they found out needed to be corrected, to trying to create this child and love together. And there was a lot of love there. Now, anyone who's ever known someone, or if they've gone through it themselves, gone through infertility, knows that it's a very, very hard thing on a relationship to go through. You're dealing with the most intimate form of communion that a couple deals with, the sexual paradigm, and it's very intimate, and it's very tough, on both people, and it can destroy a relationship oftentimes, even if the relationship is filled with a true and great love. It is very stressful. But this went on for a very long time, and then eventually, again, they tried almost everything that they could try. They even explored adoption, but they really wanted to try to have a child. Now, the woman, because it was her body that seemed to not be cooperating, and she had had a surgery to correct something that needed to be corrected, and she put herself fully all the way in. She started to take on the feeling that she had failed this relationship, this love relationship, this man that she loved. She failed. She felt that she couldn't fully be a woman if she could not give this man a child, this child that they so desperately wanted to share together. Not to mention potentially other children in the future. And as things broke down, she moved into a space where she couldn't face him anymore. She found it very hard, and the intimacy was starting to take its toll day after day of trying to have a child, and every month after month always having the news that there would be no pregnancy. And eventually, she moved into a space where she had an affair. She had an affair with someone else so that she could feel alive again. She could feel sensual and feminine again. And she could feel that essence that was lost in that intimate paradigm. Now, I mean, many people would judge that, and I understand that. There's a lot we could say around that. But people do what they do from where they are. And so she had this affair, and she ended up falling in love with the person that she had an affair with, while she still very, very much loved her husband. Eventually, over time, she ended up going back to her husband after having left him for a while to be with this other man. She went back and she tried to make things work, and she still couldn't take the pressure of not being able to have a child. It looked like it was going to be impossible, like she would never have a child. And this man, truly, she knew how much her husband wanted children, and in her mind, she really, truly felt that maybe he would be better with somebody else, that he would be able to have this joy and this happiness and this gift with another person. And so she had left, she came back, and the feelings didn't go away. So eventually she left again. Now, the husband was devastated. He truly loved this woman. He was devastated. And now she had cheated on him. She'd gone and been with another man. She had left him for another man. But he still loved her. And so he asked her to come back. He asked her to come back over and over for over a year. And eventually he realized she was not going to come back. And so he filed for divorce, and he went to see the attorneys. And they let the woman know that he had filed for divorce and he wanted to move through with it, that at this point it was time to move on. And so the divorce proceeded, and the man who knew his wife had had adultery, this woman, he ended up, in the end, deciding to graciously split everything in half with her. He did not file for cause with adultery. He simply filed for irreconcilable differences. And he split everything in half. Everything. His 401k, the house, the equity in the house, all of it. Surprising everyone's attorneys, pretty much, because he loved her. So I'm going to ask you, how to, notice how he showed up. Did he show up as love? Was love real? What does love do? If only love is real, what does love do? If love is healthy. Now, the third story I'm going to talk about is that there was another man that got married to a woman. And shortly after they got married, he found out she was having some trouble with some financial issues, some different things that she had to take care of, and basically that, there was a lot of trouble with the finances, and he had to jump in and help her with different issues, things that had occurred before that were separate from their life together. And the husband became very aggravated by these issues. At first, he jumped in to help, and then things didn't go well. She continued to struggle with the different issues. And eventually, very quickly, he decided he'd had enough of that. He didn't want the financial issues. Regardless that they had just gotten married, he decided he was going to walk away, dissolve everything, and end the marriage. And this was after they had dated a while, they got married. This was a love relationship. He loved her, so he said, but he decided to walk away at the first sign of any kind of financial trouble. Now, so I'll ask you, did that show up as love? Was that healthy love? If only love is real, was that love real? Did it show up that way? Now, the reason that I mention these three stories is because we really bring our idea of what relationship should be versus what it could be to the table. And the reason I share these three stories is because I want to exhibit that sometimes we love people too much. Sometimes we love people too little. And sometimes we love people just right. You know, it's kind of like, what is it, Goldilocks and the wolves. That's the Three Bears. Sorry about that. It's about the Little Red Riding Hood and the wolves. And it's like, I want to point that out as an example, because in the first case, the man who loved the woman too much, he ended up destroying everything that they had been and everything they could be and every good thing that the love was that they had had together, because he loved her too much. And it smothered her, and it smothered and destroyed the relationship. That's not love. And with the man that walked away quickly because of the financial issues, things that maybe could have been worked out and could have been, handled differently if they had worked on it and communicated and shown up together as love. He loved that woman too little. So it was about pride. It was about other values other than love. And so the relationship, it ended. He ended it. Now, in the case of the man who split everything down the middle, who wanted to make sure that basically that she was taken care of, even though she had had an affair with another man, had left the marriage, he showed up as love because he did love, and he loved well. And he decided to be a reflection of that love in everything that he did, no matter what, with that person. Because it wasn't about anything but love. Love was the priority. And he was a very, very good man. And I know this because that man is the man I was married to for many, many years. Only love is real, and how we are being loved and how we express our love is what makes the love. Now, I want to take a minute to move into the energy of love. I want to bring you to that place because I want you to really think about these stories. Think about how we're showing up in a relationship. Think about what you're doing, what the things that you're thinking, if you're thinking other things that take you away from love. And I want to move into that energy of love, what love really is, not what the world is trying to tell us it is. Because of pride, because of right and wrong, because of any other thing other than the true essence of love. So let's take a minute to move into that energy using a method I outline in my upcoming book, which I'm finishing writing right now. Please close your eyes, and in your mind or out loud, please repeat after me. I am love. I am loved. I am a champion of love. I am filled with love. I see love. And love is all I see. Only love is real. I choose love. I am love. You are now filled with the power of love. Now imagine that person who you love, who you find it hard to love, struggle to love, are afraid to love. See that person in your heart's eye. See all the beautiful qualities that you love in that person. See that person as if they are filled with love right there in front of you. See them happy and free. See that person's goodness and their light. See every word, every nuance and sound that you love in that person. Remember the times when you felt great love for that person. Feel that love like a river of light moving through you. Now let that river of light and love like a golden sunbeam of honey move out of you and over to this person. Softly let the love embrace her and feel him and soothe her and make love to him. Let your heart speak words of love, all the love in this person, all the love in you, like a river connecting you two together. Together, you are love. He is love. She is love. And that love is all that is real. And it is all that together you are. You are love. The love of the world. And this river is the way of love. Only love is real. And all else is dust or lifeless density. Now let's swim in that energy that you're feeling right now, that you're visioning, you're feeling as you see it. Let's swim in it. If you feel overwhelmed, let yourself feel what you feel. Love feels. And love is very much alive and loving. Now, I want to address something that I've been seeing for a long time now as I coach people, clients all around the world, and that I see as an obstacle to love in this work. Right now, we are bombarded by self-help salesology, as I call it, mind mantras and methodologies that sell people on how to master the mind, to control and master our thoughts. In what some call the New Cage movement, people are teaching us to still our mind, detach, and observe, which is fine. But it's also teaching us to operate as if we are separate from all others. In a relationship, we are not just separate. We are, but we are also in relationship, in oneness, even just two people. We are told not to take it personally, that when others express their feelings, they are simply projecting their own stuff. We are told that we should not react when we are confronted with what I call turtitude, which is otherwise known as bullshit, from others. We are told to walk away if we are challenged in relationship, and that no matter what is coming at us that we don't like, we deserve better, whatever better means. We are told to control the mind and our thoughts, and that we can choose our feelings like the clothes we will wear today. We are told that others are responsible fully for their feelings, as if we have nothing to do with what we make other people feel. We are sold rules on how it should be and what we should all look like, what relationships should look like. And we think we can solve major relationship issues with a tweet quote. Well, I'll tell you what. All of that, that's not love. And my favorite of all time is this concept that people are broken. You are not broken. Your heart may be broken. Your spirit may be broken. Your mind might be confused, and your life may have fallen apart. You may be financially challenged. You may be lost, and you may be wounded and hurt. And you may have work to do on yourself to move into love and your own power. You may have work to move out of victim mode. You may have work to do to heal deep wounds created by others or yourself. But you are not broken. And anyone who tells you that is not love. You are love. Relationship is the sum of what two people bring to it and generate together as the unique us. Love is personal. Relationship is personal. Relationship is relating. It is the experience of sharing and what that looks like and feels like between two people. You get to create that. You get to create what works for the relationship together. It is the sum of the words and feelings shared and expressed, the energy shared. And it is the sum of the choices the two people make for the sake of the relationship. You're not an island in a relationship. The relationship requires accountability, care and nurture, communication, and honoring and respecting the relationship. Otherwise, you're not in love. You reap what you sow, so it takes two. It is connection. Again, it's a connection, attachment, commitment to relating. We make a commitment to showing up as love, and love will have its effect. It is the most powerful force in the universe, and it can move mountains and fear like a tidal wave. And that begins with us when we choose love. We've got to work it until we move into love. We've got to work it. If we love, if we come to a relationship with love, if we feel love, it takes work. Meaning we've got to figure it out and move the pieces around. Like a Rubik's Cube, you've got to figure out what works. You move into love and suddenly the issues often fade away. Even if the relationship moves into a new way of being and transforms and evolves over time and people go different ways, there's still relationship there. And we have to move in the fluidity of love. Now why? Why do we do that? Why do we move into relating and honoring? And why do I say that all of these things that I mentioned, all these things that I'm seeing out there are ruining relationships and keeping us alone and further apart than we've ever been before, which is what I see. It's because love is something that's not understood. And I will tell you what, love at its core, at the basic common denominators, it's about trust and consciousness. It's reverence. Love is reverence. That's a word that a lot of people feel is religious, but it's about reverence, revering the other person, holding them as sacred, holding yourself as sacred, the other person is sacred, the relationship is sacred. Something that's precious that you respect and protect, even from yourself. When a person feels safe, they can trust. We can want everyone to feel safe automatically and trust us. Yet trust is created and it's earned. If you've lost trust, commit to each other to start anew in faith and reverence for each other. If you're struggling with someone, often there's an issue with trust. Do what needs to be done to help the person feel safe with you. Communicate what you need to feel safe. Loving relationship does not judge that. Instead, it creates trust to make the way for intimacy, which is the holy grail of any relationship. Any relationship. That place where there's sacred space, where a person is free to be themselves and express love in all ways. Know that your words matter. Use your words to express love. Know that your actions matter. Use your actions to express love. People's feelings matter. Honor those feelings, even if you think they are irrational. Align with love, and you will know love. Love answers love. Do the work before walking away from who and what you love. Love is your calling, as love is who you are. First, be love. As you can tell, I am very passionate about love. Why do I feel these lessons are so important? Well, I think a quote from Corinthians 13, verses 1 and 2 says it very well. If I speak in tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I am only a ringing gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have the absolute faith so as to move mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. Have love. Have love. Because only love is real. Now, I want to close tonight. I want to bring this to a close with one of my new audio meditations that's entitled Hear You. This is one of the Good Night Kiss Nighttime Meditations from my new compilation called Lay Me Down, which will be available for purchase through my website on September 15th. So many of us listen in relationship to respond versus listening to hear, to learn, and to love better. So many people express frustration at not being heard, not being able to voice what is in their hearts for fear of ridicule, judgment, or rejection. We cannot have good relationships if we cannot hear each other. We cannot relate and communicate. Yes, it's a Holy Communion. We cannot communicate if we cannot hear one another and cannot express what we feel and need, which is crucial to satisfying and successful intimacy, to successful, healthy relationship. So I'd like to share with you this meditation called Hear You, and this will be the first time that this meditation has ever been heard. It is my hope that you will feel its love and healing power tonight. So please relax and close your eyes and hear you. It was a long day, wasn't it? Come to bed. Come lay here by me and tell me about your day. Close your eyes. I'm here. Tell me. Bring it forth to the surface. What didn't they hear today? The words you wanted to say, what were they? The words you said and he couldn't hear, what were they? The words you said and she couldn't hear, what were they? What else didn't they hear? The feelings you felt when they didn't hear you, let them rise up to the surface. It's okay. Just let them come. How does that feel? Oh, those feelings. Give them to me to hold for you. You can let them go now. Let me hold you. And as I hold you, I am soothing away the pain of not being heard. Yet no, I have heard you. I have heard every word and every emotion behind every word. Breathe out the frustration and move into a place of deep, deep peace. I'll take you there. Come with me. Come away with me. You are safe here. You're safe now with me. I am with you. You are heard. Feel the stress of words melting away as if dropping down onto the bed. Feel the nectar of golden flowing energy move into your feet, moving up your calves, into your knees, into your thighs. This nectar is magical and filled with peaceful pleasure. Feel it flooding your hips and your belly. It's moving like a gentle wave up into your ribs and through your chest. Take a breath and feel it enter your neck and gently caress your face and your ears. Feel it move gloriously into your mouth. Taste that golden nectar flowing across your lips and all through your head. New words are forming that fill you with power and peace. You don't need to think them at all. Now they are just there for you, beautiful, clear, and loving. Your whole body is now filled with light and filled with the energy of love. Feel it vibrating within you. Feel it. Feel it moving you into a sensual beingness of warm words of love. We lie here together, you and I, looking into each other's eyes, side by side, seeing the beauty of who you are. You have no need of words to tell you what you need, what your heart longs to say. I feel you. I feel those words, and I am with you. Now feel me kiss your mind, and kiss your body, and kiss your soul. I pull you closer now. Our breath is one, as I wrap you in my warm embrace. Now close your eyes and feel the sweetest peace as dreams begin to beckon. You've been heard, and I am with you. Good night, sweetheart. Good night. It's been my pleasure to be here with you tonight. Thank you very much for listening to YinRadioTV at Achieve Radio. I'll see you soon. I'm Rory Kelly Connor, and I'm the Love Queen.